I want to quickly talk to you about the $10 million CLEARCO no-credit-check business loan. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Q Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about a $10 million CLEARCO no-credit-check business loan. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, please understand this video is purely educational. It is not promotional. We have no affiliation, no relationship with CLEARCO, and they have not paid us to do this video. One thing I want to say in the overview here is that with CLEARCO, you have access to fair and fast capital. What we love with this lender is that they actually are a trusted network of founders who have some experience about the difficulties it takes to get startup funding. Okay, and we love the fact that all their products are equity free. In other words, they're not actually giving you, they're not giving you a loan in exchange for an equity stake. No. And basically they can actually fund your business from 10 grand all the way to $10 million. And you have to repay them via a revenue share agreement plus a flat 6 to 12% fee. I'll talk about that later on. One thing that's very important, the bottom line here is that with CLEARCO, you actually can scale your company and maintain 100% ownership and control. Okay. So the best way to see CLEARCO is they used to be called Clear Bank, by the way. And it's a form of debt financing that works very similarly to a merchant cash advance. So you can borrow up to $10 million and there is no set due date on when the borrower must pay the loan back in full. And we love the fact that they actually cover a lot of industries, even though they have actually focused in the last few years on online e-commerce and IT. So they focus on industries as diverse as e-commerce, SaaS, so that's software as a service, online retailers, subscriptions companies, mobile apps with in-app purchases, and marketplace. This is currently in the beta version. And so the bottom line here is you can use the cash for several things. You can use the money for marketing, for inventory, to hire more staff. You can actually cover a lot of expenses. But one thing I want you to remember here is that this is a revenue-based funding agreement that can fund you all the way to $10 million. Let's dig a little deeper here in terms of the programs, the funding programs that they have. Folks, in this show, I'm still talking to you about a massive no credit check business loan from CLEARCO. Maximum loan amount, $10 million. So there are actually a couple of programs you want to know with CLEARCO. They have three that we believe can be very helpful to you. First, they have the early stage, what they call the Clear Angel. Then they have for e-commerce companies, what they call the Clear Capital. And then they have for SaaS startups, the Clear Runway. Let's dig a little deeper here. So Clear Angel, this is for early stage companies. So here you can actually, you have access to money fast. You can actually, they even provide a coaching. This is really good. They provide coaching to you and industry resources so you can scale your business with confidence. So not only are they giving you the cash, they're also giving you the resources you need to actually grow. Obviously, with the Clear Angel, you get intros to industry experts in an area you need. You access trusted agencies, supply chain experts, lawyers, and more. You can connect and learn from founders in their exclusive community. And at the end of the day, the competitive edge of CLEARCO is that they are actually focusing on a niche that they're very good at. Let's talk about the Clear Capital. With Clear Capital, this is for e-commerce companies, okay? And they will give you marketing capital inventory capital. You can get up to $10 million in whatever money, whatever funding program you need without giving up equity. This is very important. So, and the best way to do this, the best way they do this is you only just need to connect your apps. So they will connect with your tools to measure key growth metrics like monthly revenue and ad performance. You get your offer in 24 hours and you repay on your terms and you can instantly top up. What we love is that they will give you 3 tailor-made funding offers ranging from $10,000 to $10 million. That's for Clear Capital. What about Clear Runway? Clear Runway is kind of cool too. This is for SaaS startups, software as a service. And here you're actually converting your MRR into ARR. MRR stands for monthly recurring revenue, and ARR stands for annual recurring revenue. And we love the fact that this kind of funding, as the others, is non-dilutive. In other words, there's no strings attached. You're not losing equity capital. You maintain control. All right. And the process is similar here. You connect your accounts, you receive your funding, and you can grow your business. For all these 3 programs, if you need any question, you want to call 1-855-933-8638. 1-855-933-8638. Let's talk about the requirements, folks. Again, in today's conversation, I am talking to you about a massive no credit check business loan from CLEARCO. Maximum loan amount, folks, $10 million. Minimum $10,000. So to apply for CLEARCO, you'll need to supply the following information. First, they want to have your bank account and routing number. Makes sense? Basic information about the business like your EIN, your employer identification number. This is important also. They want to have basic information about all officers and directors. Let me ask you a question, big decision time. Do you have a bio for each officer and director? Each officer or director in your company? Do you have that? If you don't, right now, you better start right now just drafting that, because CLEARCO is going to ask you to provide that. So this could be a resume, this could be a brief bio, and CLEARCO also might want to ask, they might want to see your articles of incorporation or articles of organization, depending on the legal structure you have chosen, and in some cases, state issued ID. So this is important. Another considerably restrictive requirement is that the average monthly revenue must be at least $10,000. Okay, so this is something you need to think about. Do you qualify? For some reason, $10,000 revenue, monthly revenue, that's the gross revenue, is too high. For some, it's just normal. Okay, so 10 grand is the thing, and they do a lot of their funding on an EIN only basis. So it's just better to be incorporated as opposed to being a sole proprietorship. So this is something you need to think about also. And we love the fact that this kind of funding is great for startups also. CLEARCO's clients can be in business for as little as 6 months. Think about it. However, eligible businesses must have at least 6 months of consistent revenue as well. Though the criterion for consistent is not clear, it's probably safe to assume that businesses with occasional dips in revenue or startups that ran into a little trouble early on will not qualify. But at the end of the day, it's important to understand that if you have any question, it's just better to call them up. You want to call them up first, okay? And we love the fact that there is no credit check in the application process. They don't care about your personal credit. They care about the business. They care about the revenue. They care about the cash flow trends in the business. Let's talk about some pros and cons here. When we speak about CLEARCO, folks, I'm still having a convo with you about the $10 million CLEARCO no credit check business loan. And minimum amount is $10,000. And what are the pros and cons here? First, what are the pros? As you can actually see, CLEARCO's products are geared towards a particular type of customer, right? Big decision time. Are you in the industries I have given you? Is your business listed in some of the industries that I just mentioned? Again, e-commerce, SaaS, software as a service, online retailers, subscriptions companies, mobile apps with in-app purchases, and marketplace, the beta version. So if you are in one of those industries, give them a call. You never know, right? And so if you are a young company and you're trying to get funding and you have a lender such as CLEARCO, a direct lender that will actually fund your business without taking away your equity, that's just fantastic. And we love the fact that they can give you up all the way to $10 million. And this is a revenue-based loan, which is kind of cool because then basically you can actually pay them based on your revenue. And we love the fact that CLEARCO is also offering you a community. They're offering you coaching. They're offering you some kind of expertise that's very valuable, especially if you are a startup and you are in a field that is replete with competition. Then having that extra expertise, that extra set of eyeballs, it's very cool. What are the cons here? If you don't belong to CLEARCO's target clientele, it simply does not make sense to apply. Okay, let's say you meet only one aspect of this criterion, like your industry. If you own an e-commerce business that's a few years old, you could probably access products that are more conducive to cash flow than a merchant cash advance. Okay, so older businesses may have higher credit scores or might not want to use the funds for purchases other than digital marketing or inventory. That's one thing I really need to say also is that the cash you get from CLEARCO, even though they have been flexible lately in terms of use of loan proceeds, they still want to focus on two things: using the cash for digital marketing or inventory. Okay, something you need to think about. And also, if you're not in their industry, their core industries, e-commerce, SaaS, online retailers, subscriptions companies, mobile apps with in-app purchases, you may not qualify. Okay, so this is something you need to think about. And we also love the fact that we also don't like the fact that CLEARCO wants you to connect your apps or your system to theirs so they can just track you all the way down. So this could be a little disruptive for some companies also. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sturdy Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the $10 million CLEARCO no-credit-check business loan, minimum loan amount $10,000. Let's talk about repayments. So with CLEARCO, you need to know that their repayment structure is the same as a merchant cash advance. As I said before, this is a revenue-based lending agreement. Okay, so every time you make a sale, CLEARCO takes a percentage of that sale until the total amount is paid back in full. Remember that the loan that I'm speaking to you today about has two percentages. There are two fees. First, you have the fixed percentage of future debit and credit card sales from the previous transaction. All right. And the second percentage is also fixed, but it works more like a flat fee. So this percentage can range from 6% to 12.5%. Okay. And it's very important to understand that CLEARCO, the percentage of each sale that CLEARCO takes is based on cash flow. So if you have highly consistent cash flow, you can pay as little as 1% of each sale, while businesses with rockier cash flow can pay up to 20%. It's all about cash flow. So the second percentage that I just spoke to you about, the 6 to 12.5%, is based on entirely different criteria. So if you visit CLEARCO's website, you will see a list of popular marketing channels like Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Twitter. And companies that use CLEARCO's funds to buy ads from this vendor list will automatically be given a flat fee of 6%. And CLEARCO also offers inventory financing for e-commerce businesses that need to make large upfront purchases. So this is something you need to think about. And the big decision time, is this something that you need right now? Are you in the target industries that CLEARCO has? If the answer is yes, do you need to buy inventory right now? Do you need to finance inventory? Do you need to finance your digital marketing efforts right now? One thing I also want to say here is that if you use the funds for purposes different from digital marketing or inventory, your flat fee could be as high as 12.5%. So ClearCo is not restricting you from using the money the way you want to use it. It's just that if you don't use it for digital marketing or inventory, you are going to pay a flat fee as high as 12.5%. This is really, really high. Really high. The minimum borrowing amount is 10 grand, okay? And payments are not reported to the personal or business credit bureaus. Thus, timely repayments will not affect your personal or business credit scores, okay? And ClearCo does not require collateral or a personal guarantee at all. Let me talk to you about the application, folks. In this show, I'm still having a conversation with you about a massive no credit check business loan from ClearCo. And how do you apply with ClearCo? All I want to say here is that the full application process, applying to receiving funding, usually takes about 2 days, 1 to 2 business days, okay? So all you need to do, first you need to create an account. So you need to create an account on their website. So they will ask you for basic information about your business and yourself. Yourself meaning the business founder or the business leader, okay? So once you actually enter this information, you will actually proceed. You will click calculate now. That will give you some kind of offer, all right? And so after creating an account, you have to speak to a representative. Usually they will contact you. You don't have to contact them, they'll contact you, okay? They'll contact you within 1 to 2 days. And this does not mean you have been fully approved. It just means that you have been cleared to complete the rest of the application. And these steps ensure that ClearCo does not waste time fielding applications from businesses that don't meet their general requirements. So once you go through the second phase, you will receive offers. And all you have to do is review the offers. So when you log back into your account, you'll be able to review loan offers. You will see instructions about uploading documents and completing the rest of the application, okay? So this is step number 3. Step number 4, you need to connect your sales and payments accounts. This is how they're going to gauge your cash flows, right? So you need to connect ClearCo to the online accounts you use to make sales and payments. So this can be PayPal, Square, Stripe, etc. And one thing I need to really say here, and I think I've said this loud and clear throughout this show, that ClearCo is used entirely by online-based companies or IT-related companies, since these companies provide products and services online. All of their sales and payments are conducted via online accounts. Next, step number 5, you want to connect your digital marketing accounts. So you want to actually connect ClearCo with the online account you use for digital marketing. This could be for Facebook, Google, Amazon, you name it. It usually takes about 20 minutes to enter the data from all of your accounts. And once you do this, just sign your loan document. So after entering all of your data, you will then receive a loan contract that contains your borrowing amount, fixed fee, and repayment percentage. And funds should then appear in your bank account within 24 hours. Very fast. Step number 7, you want to think now about the decision making. Okay, folks, we are still having a conversation about this massive no credit check business loan from ClearCo. $10 million, that's the maximum limit. So what if you are declined by ClearCo? Because this could be a possibility. If ClearCo rejects your application, it's probably because you don't meet their standards for consistent revenue. Remember, the revenue has to be consistent. Even if you generate, say, $10,000 per month, ClearCo might still reject your application if they see occasional dips in revenue or cash flow shortages. So this kind of situation is fairly common with businesses that are relying primarily on, this situation is really common for the lenders, rather, that rely on algorithms to evaluate financial health. Okay, and remember that a merchant cash advance, which is a kind of loan that ClearCo has, requires daily payments. So ClearCo might determine that your daily cash flow cannot withstand this repayment structure. So that you're not actually paying on a monthly basis, you're paying on a daily basis. So it's important for them to see that kind of consistency. And one thing you also need to understand here is that with ClearCo, once you are approved, repayments begin as soon as you make sales. They will deduct the percentage of your daily sales that were disclosed in your contract. So after you sign the contract, you cannot adjust your fee or repayment percentage. No. All right. And it's also important to understand that you also have to make sure that the repayment structure, the repayment frequency, is in line with your cash flow strategy. Let me ask you a question. This is big decision time. Does CLEARCO's products sound attractive to you? Are you in the online sales space? Are you a SaaS company? Are you an IT related company? If yes, what are the things that you need to think about before actually applying for this loan? You got to think about two things. You got to think about your liquidity situation, how much money you're going to need in the next, say, day, week, month, quarter, or year. You also need to think about how you're going to use the money. Are you going to use the money for inventory and advertising, digital advertising? If yes, the fee will be very low. But if you use it for something else, you're looking at a flat fee of 12.5% maximum. That's a lot. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about the $10 million CLEARCO No Credit Check Business Loan, and I gave you an overview. I gave you the funding programs, the requirements, the pros and cons, the repayment structure, the application, and decision making. Thank you so much. I will see you next time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.